everybody. Welcome to the Thick and Thin podcast. I'm Jacob.
I'm Drew.
I'm Bradley.
Hope it's good for you.
Because it was for us.
Well, maybe.
And we're back for another Thick and Thin podcast. We have no Drew once again. Hi, Bradley.
Howdy.
How are you?
Pretty good.
Oh, so good. Are we like teenage divas?
I think
like,
so.
Teenage, you want to go get like a frappe at Starbucks?
Yeah. I had to think of the.
No. Yeah, yeet. All right. We have interesting topics for you today, ladies and gentlemen. As you may or may not know if you follow our Instagram, we were on vacation, except I was on the different side of the country than Drew and Bradley. So speaking of that, Drew and Bradley were in Florida.
By ourselves.
No, you
Well,
were.
yeah, with everybody. Me and Drew were the only people hanging out. I had to put up with Drew on the bus, in the hotel room, at Disney World.
Capitalize on it. Go for it.
That Drew wouldn't shut up ever. Okay. So we get on the bus at, what is it, like 11 something? And we're
At
on our
9
way.
o'clock, yeah.
9 o'clock, yeah. 9 o'clock. We're going to Florida, and it's like by like 11 now. And Drew's sitting there, and he just starts clapping his hands, okay? And just like waddling around as he's listening to music, okay? And so I'm like, Drew, you need to go to sleep. And he just looks at me and just keeps on clapping. Like, I wanted to hit him. I really did. It was 11 o'clock at night, and everybody on the bus was trying to sleep. And Drew's the only kid that was sitting there clapping his hands. And so I was like, okay, Drew, put your earbuds in and just go to bed. I ended up staying up until Drew fell asleep first, because I could not fall asleep until he fell asleep. Well, the bus driver woke us up at like 1 for a stop, and so we only got like 2 hours of sleep. And Drew looked like a train wreck. Okay, and so then, right when we got back on the bus after the pit stop, me and him were arguing on who's gonna sleep on the floor. Like, that went on for like an hour and a half. Like, he was literally yelling at me, like, we're right face to face, and we were screaming at each other, who's gonna sleep on the floor? So then I was just like, alright, screw it, we're both gonna sit in the chairs then. And he's just like, fine with me. And he sits there and just like, Bradley, can you just please move on the floor? Like, come on.
The floor is better, by the way.
The floor's really hot.
Well, where were you on the bus? Were you towards the back?
In the middle.
In the middle? Oh, because
Like,
if you're
I'd
in
say
the
a
back,
little bit.
you're on top of the engine.
Yeah, and in front was like too cold, so it's like right in the middle is perfect. But yeah, so Drew just did that. That was the whole entire bus ride up there, is putting up with Drew. Then when we got up there, we went on the beach, and I went off and did my own thing with other friends besides Drew. When we got
The
in the
only time.
yeah, the only time I had a break. But then we went into the hotel room for the first night, and I don't remember if it was the first or second night, but we ended up breaking some lights.
Oh, God!
And I think the first time was one of our buddies was singing, and he hit a light off the freaking ceiling. And then Drew comes over and he's like, what are you guys doing? Picks up a chair. And like, I think he tried to like fake it or something. But I walk in, and they're all sitting on the floor dying laughing. Like, I walk into the hotel room, and they're all on the floor laughing. And I'm like, so what just happened? And I look up, and there's no like lights up there. And I'm like, oh my God, you guys. And then I go in the bathroom. I come out, and Drew's holding the light, Scotch tape, just over each and every single light. It was just the funniest thing ever. So it was like an X, and then we're like, all right, we just gotta go tell the teachers. We're not gonna fix this. And we ended up putting Scotch, like, it was pretty fixed, but you could see the Scotch tape clearly.
Yeah.
And yeah, then the next night, we just put sticky notes on one of our friends as a prank. 1,000 and some sticky notes, yeah. 7 packages, yeah.
Okay.
And that's kind of fun. Scared the shit. I think he scared the shit out of us more than we probably scared the shit out of him.
Really?
Yeah. Like, he woke up right in the middle of it, and he's just like, what are you guys doing? And we're like, oh shit! Like, took off running. And that was fun. On the bus ride back, like, everyone is excited to get home.
Yeah.
Obviously. We were all
Tired and want to be home.
exactly. Not true. Oh my God. I think he was excited to go home, but it's not just. I didn't think he wanted to see his father, but like, his dad called every 5 minutes. I swear. Like, hey, where you at?
I'm in Florida.
No, like, where you at? We just passed Kentucky or something like that.
Okay.
And then, because I think that's one of the states we went through. Yeah. And
Yep, it is.
yeah, I know. I was sleeping. Anyway, like, we were all excited to get home, and it was like maybe 12. No, I wouldn't say 12. It was maybe 10 or something like that. We showed up at like 10:50.
You show up late, yeah.
And Drew was like talkative the whole time, kind of. It was better on the way back than it was on the way there. I'll just say it like that. Yeah, that was my trip, putting up with Drew the whole time. It was
Neat.
fun. So how about you?
Well,
how was your
okay,
trip?
well, I'll get there, but I want to say this real quick, that after all this happened, I called you guys up and asked how it all went. And the stories I heard were the funniest stuff ever. Because to go back with the chair breaking the light, he said that they were light. So when
Yeah,
you
the
try to lift it up, it would just boom, and that's what broke. And that was funny. It was awesome.
God.
So then they got Scotch tape. Okay, it was funny.
Oh.
Before I say my trip to California, I'll say a little bit about my trip to Florida back when I was your age. And that's so weird that I was your age when I went, and you're not. But yeah, the bus ride sucked.
Yeah.
My person who sat by me, he slept on the floor, and I got the seats, which I'm tall. I couldn't fit everything in one seat.
Yeah.
So, but and at one point at one night, which I'm surprised Drew didn't do to you, I was sleeping and he was sleeping, but he got awoken from the stench. I gassed him. I farted. He was under me, and I apparently let out this terrible fart, and when I woke up the next morning, he goes, "Dude, you got a bad case of farts." Like, what are you talking about? I almost died.
God, okay. See, okay,
Oh
hold
my
on.
God.
I have just a little bit that ties back with that. So Drew did end up sleeping on the floor. He didn't get much sleep because he was stuck. Like, he laid down on the floor, and he was like literally I woke up and his hands are like above the seat, and his head's like right here, and his feet are like crossed, and all I can see is like the chair smushing his stomach together. And I'm sitting there like, "So did you sleep well?" And he's like, "I'm gonna go back up on the chair," like all drowsy and stuff. I'm like, "Okay."
I think it's the same hotel that we stayed in that you guys did too. They're kind of ghetto-y, if I may say. They're not as sweet.
I don't know. Ours was pretty good.
I mean, they're okay, but I mean, it's like, oh my goodness. And I was in a room where I didn't really like the people I was with, but the people I did like were kitty corner to me, so I'd be over there all the time.
Yeah.
And that room, I went with them, we walked to Domino's, which you guys didn't live up. You guys didn't do it, I hear.
No, because
You guys
we
didn't
didn't know
walk
where
to
Domino's
Domino's.
was.
It's about a mile and a half
Yeah,
to 2
there you
miles
go. We went to
down the
McDonald's
street.
instead. Or we just went to Old Town.
Did you guys go to Denny's?
We did go to Denny's for breakfast.
That's nice. Was there humidity on the windows?
Humidity.
Isn't that weird for you to see, like, humid?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's a good place. But, yeah, you go to Domino's, which is, like, almost 2 miles down, and you have to cross the big highway. And we went down there, and there's, like, a massage parlor by it, too. But I didn't get any pizza, but I went along with the ride because I didn't want to be with my room. But it was an interesting trip for me, too. But, yeah, Florida's a different beast.
Yeah.
But I'm glad you guys had fun.
Yeah.
I am.
It was fun.
Do I have to talk about my California
Yeah,
trip?
let's hear it.
Okay, here's the thing. I kind of have a bittersweet relationship with school trips, with music trips, because you're so pressed for time. You don't have time to do anything. See, for you guys, you're at Disneyland for 3 days straight, and like 12-hour days.
Yeah.
But Disney World is huge, so you barely get to everything. The California one is super small. It's way smaller than the Florida one. So we were there for 12 hours. I ran out of stuff to do in 4 hours in. We flew there. We flew to California, which was nice. I don't really like flying, though, because my ears never pop until I go to sleep. Like, they'll pop in the air, but they won't pop when I land.
Yikes.
Which sucks. There's a lot of cool things. We saw the LA Philharmonic, which is this big, huge orchestra. They were great, but I loved the theater they were in. And then we saw a jazz band perform at Catalina Jazz Club. We went to a little island like you guys did, but ours wasn't Everglades.
Really?
Ours was island, like beautiful. And I pretty much slept. I went in the ocean for a little bit, but it's a colder ocean. Pacific's colder than Atlantic. Yeah, it's cold, and I pretty much slept on the beach that whole day because I was so tired. We toured Paramount Studios. We went to Universal Studios. There was a lot of fun, but it was just like, I wish I could have done what I wanted to do more. Like at the Hollywood sign. That's where you don't know this. I'm an old soul. Drew would know what I'm talking about. The 1966 Batman film. That's where the Batmobile came out of the Bat Cave. Was by the Hollywood sign. And I wanted to see it. It's a big hike to get there. But I wanted to see it. No, you have to stay here with the tour guide. Like, oh, for Pete's sake. I wanted to get a picture of Johnny Cash's star on the Walk of Fame. That's the whole reason why I went.
Yeah.
It was 5 streets down, and they wouldn't let me go get a picture of it. It's on Hollywood and Vine. I know exactly where it is. I researched before I went. I didn't get to, but I saw a lot of others like Harrison Ford, Groucho Marx, and a bunch of other people's, but I didn't get Johnny. The whole reason, I wish we could have done Hollywood Boulevard more. And LA's such trash. Mm-hmm. Like, I would not move there for the life of me. I wouldn't. The weather's nice, the weather's awesome, but oh my God, the people and the traffic. And the traffic. If you go 15 minutes away, it's a 2-hour trip.
15 or 50?
15.
Oh my.
It's a 2-hour trip no matter where you go on the freeway because the traffic's so bad. It's unbelievable. And it's just LA. I mean, it was fun. It was a cool trip, but oh god.
That'd be a journey.
Yeah.
God.
And you really get to see how many pockets Disney has their hand in.
Yeah, Disney's got.
I don't like it. I really don't like it. They own too much. They're turning it into a monopoly. They are. They're turning into a monopoly.
No, wait. Disney's a monopoly?
They're turning into one.
Really?
They own almost everything. They have radio stations, TV stations, movies. They own a whole bunch of shit.
I mean, pretty soon. Well, yeah, it's just because there's always kids in the world. That's why Disney has so much. 'Cause there's
Yeah.
always kids.
Yeah.
So it's,
But that's not why,
They're
'cause
never
there's-
gonna. They're never gonna go out of business.
Well, no, but there's other there's other things kids watch, not just Disney. There's Cartoon Network, there's Nickelodeon, there's a whole bunch
Yeah,
more.
I don't see any of those like places going like Cartoon Network World or something like that.
No, because they don't have the money. Disney has money.
That's true.
They bought Lucasfilm, who makes Star Wars, for like $12 trillion or something
Trillion?
astronomical.
Yeah,
Yeah, huge. They have money, and you can tell they do. And they they irritate me. I'm sorry. I mean, I like Disney, but they're doing things now that I don't like. They're rebooting everything just for money grabs. All these Star Wars movies, all of the live-action movies of regular classic cartoons, all the things they're doing, all the remakes and everything, just because they know they can get money from it.
Yeah.
That's all it is. It's driving me nuts. Speaking of Star Wars, I know you don't know anything about it, and we're going to make sure you do at some point. If it ever turns out that you do move in with Drew and I, at whatever point that is, whenever Drew moves in and you come with, we're making you watch Star Wars. Even before then, it. We're doing it on Sunday. I will get all the movies. You have Netflix, don't you?
No, yeah.
Yeah, you do. We can watch it on Netflix. All the movies are on Netflix.
Oh, are
and then
they?
you go. I hope so. If
Well,
not,
I'll
I'm
start
gonna
watching
kill
them tonight
Netflix.
then.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, that's good. No, but the new okay, before I go into that, Star Wars Celebration is this huge thing. Really huge. It's ginormous. Thousands of people go to it. And it's usually in Disneyland in Anaheim in California every year. And it's usually around my birthday on April 10th. So I was happy, like, ooh, maybe Star Wars Celebration is going to be there when we're in LA. It's Chicago this year. It was in Chicago, which really sucked for me because I really wanted to do Star Wars Celebration, but they dropped the trailer for the new movie.
Yeah, okay. I don't know much about Star Wars. So can you explain this? Are they movies or are they like episodes?
They're movies.
So there's like a movie 1, a movie 2, a movie 3.
Yeah.
And how many movies are there?
Well, there's 3, 6, there'll be then 9, 10 coming up soon.
So there's 9 right now and there'll be 10 coming up pretty soon.
Uh-huh.
And how far did these go back?
What do you mean?
Like, when did the first Star Wars come out?
1976, I think.
So they've been doing this for a long time.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And they're still making them.
Uh-huh. Well, Disney is. It used to not be Disney. Disney bought them back in 2012. Lucasfilm. George Lucas, who started this whole thing. He came up with Star Wars, everything in it, and all of that, and did the original trilogy, which is episode 4, 5, 6. Because it just started with A New Hope, which you have Luke and Vader and your, usual, Han Solo and, all those people. But yeah, so, and then after that trilogy, because it goes in trilogy, 3 movies, and then after a while they went back in the 90s and went before those original trilogy. They went back, and those are called the prequels, which is 1, 2, 3. So it started 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3. No. Or actually went 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Back.
It's 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3. Trilogy. And now, in 2012, when Disney bought Lucasfilm, they started a new trilogy, which is way in the future of the original. So that's 7, 8, 9. And they're doing like in between. But it's a really cool franchise that I think you'll enjoy if you get into it. But they dropped a new trailer for the new movie. And my favorite part is at the ending of the trailer. Because there's this point where all the characters are looking at this, like, what looks like the Death Star, which is that big... You know what the Death Star is, right?
I don't watch Star Wars, Woody.
But you don't. But you have to know what the Death Star is.
Uh-uh.
It's that big thing with the satellite in front where it shoots things. You'll know. But and it's this big old circle, and they look at it, and then Luke is saying like, "No one's ever really gone," and then blackout, and then you hear Palpatine's laugh. It's so awesome. I'll show it to you after this podcast. Anakin turns into Vader.
So Anakin is Vader.
Anakin is
person.
Vader. Yeah.
So that's why they always... that makes more sense then, because I always thought Vader was somebody else and then Anakin was somebody else, and then, like, they were their own separate people.
No.
But Anakin and Darth Vader are the same thing. So Anakin just turns into Vader.
Yep.
And Palpatine is...
His master.
And Drew likes the green side better than the...
The light side? I don't know. He's kind of in the middle.
I like
I
those people that... Those stormtroopers.
Nice. See, so you know some Star Wars.
I'm working on it.
Yeah. It's so good. What'd you think of the trailer?
I actually kind of liked it.
See?
I don't want to watch that one right away, though. I want to build up...
Well, the movie's not out yet.
Yeah, obviously.
It's the trailer.
It's coming out. If that's a trailer, it's going to come out pretty soon.
In December.
Yeah, in December. So I got time.
So I would say episode 1 and 2.
Don't watch them.
I mean, if you want the backstory of everything, sure.
No, you could just explain the backstory to me. Maybe not now, but like later.
Yeah.
That's
If you have any questions, I know all there
Yeah, I
is.
know.
But I mean, 3 is the best, and then there's 4, 5, 6.
I hope they're on Netflix.
Yeah. Because I think you'd like them. Should we do Urban Dictionary? Star Wars?
Yeah.
Or Palpatine?
Look up Star Wars. No, look up Palpatine.
I swear if I...
Wait, so, okay, hold on. One more question.
That's fine. Ask away.
Anakin is Darth Vader, but does that mean that they have like that shock? So Darth Vader, which is Anakin, has the shock thing that comes out of their hand, right?
Okay, now here's the thing. Anakin is the prophecy chosen one that will bring balance to the Force. But he turns to the dark side, and by doing so, he duels his Jedi Master. But his Jedi Master cuts off his arm and 2 legs, and then Vader burns in lava. And Palpatine goes to save him, puts him in the suit that is iconic Vader. That's why he's in the suit, to help him live. He would have been able to do that lightning, but his powers aren't good. He relies on the choke.
So yeah, he just does that. Okay, yeah.
That's his strongest thing. Palpatine's strongest is that lightning.
So Palpatine does the lightning.
Yeah.
Is that the only thing he has a lightsaber too, doesn't he?
He has a lightsaber, but he uses it to mock the Jedi.
Okay.
You'll get better once you see the movies if
Yeah,
you ever
I'll
want to
work on
watch
it.
them.
Welcome back to another Urban Dictionary from the Thick and Thin podcast. Here's Woody.
You're getting good at those.
Yeah.
All right, since I'm on a Star Wars phase because of the trailer coming out, we're looking up Palpatine today. Palpatine, the character in any film who's clearly evil to any member of the audience, but who won't be recognized as such as the characters until it's too late. A character may also Palpatine as a verb. This is used to describe when a character reveals his evil nature. The police chief in that flick was a total Palpatine. Why did no one ever realize he was evil? Oh my god, they have the whole backstory on him! Oh my god! That is awesome. They have the whole backstory of Palpatine on Urban Dictionary. This Sith Lord knows what true power is, along with being able to wield a lightsaber and using the awesome Force Storm ability. He gained power through politics and manipulation, with the idea in his mind to gain the support of the Galactic Senate and gain the loyal service of another of the greatest villains, Darth Vader. That's been a look at your Urban Dictionary of the podcast. Today's podcast, Palpatine, my favorite Star Wars character. Bradley, what shall we do?
Ender here.
Ender here, you think?
And then we better go and,
Well, we'll see you guys in the next one, which, will be a week from now.
Yes, sir.
For them. For them, it's a week.
Yeah.
For us, it could be like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
That's why I love bulking up on these things.
It's amazing.
See you in the next one.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye! Thank you for listening to the Thick and Thin podcast.
Well, it wasn't that bad. See you in the next one.
Bye.